Hello and welcome to the Mindful Movement. I'm Les Raymond and
I'm Sara Raymond.
thanks for joining us today for another video. Today's video is going to be a breathing practice. We get a lot of requests for more breathing videos, so here you go. Now I've heard this breath practice referred to as strong yogic breathing, as bhastrika pranayama. I pretty much refer to it as basically my favorite breathing practice. So this is, I think, a super powerful practice, and it can be used to varying degrees of intensity, and that's really important. So just like if you're going to the gym and like lifting weights, most of the time you might be lifting kind of light, medium weights, and then occasionally lifting heavy weights. So I feel like this practice ought to be viewed through a similar lens where most of the time it should be fairly nourishing and easy, but occasionally you could kind of push the envelope and it'll take you somewhere. Now, that being said, we're going to be interacting with our gas exchange system and the interplay between oxygen and carbon dioxide, and that could make sensations arise in the body that might seem unfamiliar at first. So if you're not used to having kind of powerful breathing sessions where you have strong sensations emerge, then I would really, go slow, walk cautiously. And today we're going to do a very easy introduction version of this breath. So you should be safe, but you still might feel something you've never felt before. And what I would recommend is if it feels like too much, just back off. Just stop what you're doing. Whatever negative thing that might arise, if you just stop, it should settle down within seconds. But if you're open to kind of just letting go and surrendering to those sensations, this is your practice, and I encourage you to explore your practice and see what it has to offer you. So first, we're going to go over kind of the sequence of the breath, and then we're going to add structure to it and talk a little bit about how we would use this in an actual routine and kind of apply it to your lifestyle. So I'm going to coach you guys and Sarah along this video, and we'll take it from there. So Sarah, you want to lay down?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Now normally I would do this practice seated, upright, but there's nothing wrong with doing this lying down, and sometimes you could be more comfortable pushing the envelope a little bit when you're lying down so that if you get dizzy for a moment, you're not worried about falling over or something. If you're lying on your back, it's pretty much impossible to pass out and it's impossible to fall over. So it's a great place to introduce yourself to this pattern. You could have your legs flat or knees bent, whatever's comfortable. I think what's important is if you are lying down to see if you can do this without a lot of effort. So a couple things you could do. If you could hold your legs in this position without work, that's great. Some people feel it more comfortable if your feet are a little wider and then let your knees fall in and they'll kind of hold each other up. That's kind of a neat way to relax. All right, now for this today, we're going to have the mouth closed completely. Now you could do this different ways, and for another day we might explore that. But we're going to take it nice and slow and easy today, and I want the mouth closed if you can, with the tip of the tongue behind the top two front teeth and the center of the tongue up against the roof of the mouth. Not with a lot of force, but it's there. They're in relationship. All right, let's talk about the breathing sequence first. So if you've listened to any of our stuff, you've probably heard us talk about diaphragmatic breathing before. So a good way to just give yourself feedback when you're practicing this is to put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Now I think it's important to be relaxed here. So if reaching for these points brings the elbows off the ground, then I would prioritize relaxing the arms, letting the elbows be on the ground, and if the hands don't quite reach those points because of your body size or structure, then that's fine. Now, what we're going to do is inhale and think of your inhale aiming for the hand on the belly. So ideally, we want the initiation of the inhale to create a rise in the belly without really moving in the chest yet. So first, we're just going to do this little beginning part of the sequence, and we're going to go a little slower. See if you could be a little more patient here, the exhale. So go at your own pace if you're watching this. Make sure to not rush your breath. You're just bringing awareness and attention and like a connection with your mind to your breath and the direction it's going. We want it to be very deep in location. Not so much volume just yet, but in location, like it's really going down towards the groin almost. And there might be like a sense of a three-dimension expansion around the belly. Maybe even increasing, if your lower back is in contact with the ground, you might even feel this very subtle increase of pressure in your lower back into the ground. Don't force anything, but just notice if that's happening. All right, so we're going to add a little bit to the sequence. So after your hand rises and your belly's full, we're going to let the ribs expand. So the hand on the chest might move. Now, ideally, the chest as it expands is going to be more laterally, kind of out, like the ribs moving away from each other. Not so much the sternum going up towards the head, but the ribs just going out sideways. And if you can't create that with the direction from your mind right now, don't worry about it. You're just here to practice. There's no end goal here. Our goal is to practice. Now, even though your lungs don't really go up into the neck or the head, I want you to get a sensation of this inhale continuing. So it's going to go belly, chest, neck, and head. And just creating this sense of just embodying your breath. And like the whole body is involved with this. Just take a moment and connect with that idea. Belly, chest, neck, head, and then relax. And now you could let your breath normalize a little bit. So what we're going to do on this, we're going to add a little structure to this. So we're going to add a little more intention to the inhale. So there's going to be force added, but it's going to be very subtle. Ideally, we don't want to create a real stressful environment for our body here. It's just like a gentle, almost like a strength training for the inhale, and then still be able to quickly move to a relaxing exhale. So I'm going to demonstrate real quick what this might look like and sound like, and then Sarah, I'll have you try this with the folks at home. All right, so if you notice, that makes an audible sound. So this inhale will create some sound. There's some intention and some force behind it, but it's not really aggressive. It's just like you're adding a little bit of meaning there. All right, so we're going to try 5 of these, and we're just going to relax after that. All right, so let's exhale to prepare, and then here we go. Belly, chest, neck, head, relax. One more here. Belly, chest, neck, head, and relax. All right. So one of the powerful things about this practice, it's going to allow you to get a extended breath hold after your exhale. It's just going to naturally happen. I'm always amazed when people haven't done this before and they never think they could like hold their breath for really long. And then even after just a couple rounds of this structured breath practice, they wind up just shattering their expectations, holding their breath for maybe a minute or even closer to 2 minutes the first day trying. And what we're doing there is something very important from a health standpoint. We're building what's called carbon dioxide tolerance. So there's really no oxygen sensors in our body. It's carbon dioxide is what our body is relying on to determine how to uptake oxygen into our cells and our tissues. And there's a host of positive things that come from building that ability to have our carbon dioxide levels rise. Carbon dioxide often gets kind of a bad rap, but we really rely on it. It's an important molecule and really does a lot for our physiology. So now we're going to get into really our first work set. Now generally, I'll do these maybe 3 or 4 sets of 10 to 15 breaths would be a typical session, occasionally going to the realm of 20 or 30 breaths. What I find is 5 to 10 breaths is really a great minimum effective dose where I could get almost as long as a breath hold with only 5 or 10 breaths as I can with much greater breaths, which also brings with it kind of more stress, more activity, more recovery required. And I just kind of save those for maybe every week or 2. But for a daily practice, 3 sets of 5 to 15 breaths is just plenty. So we're going to try 7 breaths now. And what that means is you're going to do 7 of these inhales with immediate relaxing exhales. And on the last one, you're going to allow your body to just settle into some stillness and letting that exhale drag out for as long as what's comfortable for you. Now, once you feel the urge to inhale after your breath hold, I want you to just push yourself just a smidgen, maybe another second or 2, and hold your breath for just a little bit longer, really just to prove yourself that nothing bad's going to happen and to give you a chance to explore your body a little bit. And then when you do feel like you need to inhale, you're just going to go ahead and inhale, and then you're going to hold your breath for just a moment and then let it relax and then let your breath normalize. All right, we're going to exhale to prepare, and here we go. Fully in. Let it out. Slow down, nice and easy. Three more here. Fully in. Relax. 2 more. 1 more. And relax. And we're going to just find stillness here. Letting your exhale take as long as it's willing to take to just kind of ooze out of your body. And just marinate in that place, right? Just for whatever's right. When you feel that need to breathe in, just hold on just a little bit longer. And then you could breathe in. And when you do breathe in, you hold your breath at the top of your inhale just for a moment. And then exhale and relax. Look at Sarah holding her breath. She's gotten a lot better at this. Look how easy that came. Nice. Cool, how you feel?
Feel good.
All right, how y'all feel out there watching? Oh, you feel good? Oh, that's great. All right, so some people might have already held their breath on that first set for longer than you would expect. But usually on the second set, that's where I see people really turn a corner and get a nice long breath hold. So that's going to come up here. So we'll go for, we're going to do 9 breaths now. Keep with odd numbers today. Sometimes I stick with prime numbers. Sarah thinks I'm kind of nutty for that. She's probably right. Today we'll just go up the odd ladder.
Are you going to be okay?
I'll be okay. All right. So the tendency, as you saw Sarah do too, is to kind of rush these breaths. You don't need to rush. Take your time, and the good things will just happen. All right, and if you want to move your hands by now to a different position or change your legs, it's fine. All right, so we're going to do 9 breaths here. On the end of the 9th breath, you're just going to let your exhale extend for as long as possible until you find stillness and just linger in that stillness. All right, let's exhale to prepare, and here we go. Keep going. Fully in. Belly, chest, neck, head. Gonna do 2 more here. The last one is coming up. Here we go, last one, fully in. And relax. And just give in. Let gravity win. Just melt into the floor, knowing that you're well supported, releasing any tension that's willing to be released. The mind is calm. The forehead is relaxed, the neck, the shoulders, arms, chest, belly, hips, legs, just relax. Enjoy your stillness. When you feel the need to breathe, just hold off just a little bit longer. And then whenever you feel the time is right, you could breathe in. Don't be afraid to push yourself a little bit. When you do breathe in, try to hold your breath just for a moment at the top, and then let it relax again, and allow your natural breath cycle to resume. Before we do the last set, take this time to just notice what change has already taken place in your body. And you might feel, some tingly things. You might see some colors. That's okay. If you really go deep with this practice, you could see a lot more than just colors. But I really encourage you to dip your toe in slowly with this breath practice and just enjoy the easy versions of it, I would say for several weeks before you try to push the envelope. But if it feels right to you, explore away, discover what's there. You want to do more?
Sure.
You got one more in you, Sarah?
One more sounds good.
You're smiling. All right. Let's do the last set. We're going to go 11. And, let it take you where it'll take you. All right, let's exhale to prepare. Remember, belly, chest, neck, head. Keep your sequence in place. Stick to the basics. Here we go. Fully in and relax. Belly, chest, neck, head. Fully in. Nice. We got 5 more. Got 3 more here, Sarah. Take your time. 2 more. The last one's coming up. It's going to be real big. Fully in. And let it go. It's quiet. That's nice. Sometimes being still, practicing stillness, is just so challenging with all the busyness in our life. And there's something about this practice that just is so inviting to, the stillness is so inviting to just kind of marinate in for a while. When you need to breathe in, you can breathe in, hold it, and then let it go again. And just notice now how different you feel. Like you've really shown yourself here that, as we say a lot, like you have a say in a lot that goes on in your body. And not really looking as the body and the mind as separate thing, but this just the beauty of the organism that we are and how much control we have over it. And it all starts with our breath. We can control our state of mind. We could even control our emotions or how we look at things. We could interact with what neurotransmitters are being made and how much oxygen we're getting to our tissues and our cells, and how much healing we could create just from tinkering with the basics. So we all have these dials that we could play with and turn, and this is just one of many ways to turn the dials of your body and see, what happens, and see if it serves you. How do you feel?
Great.
Sarah feels great. Successful practice. I hope you folks at home enjoy this. If you have questions about this practice or how to incorporate it into your life, then shoot us a message and we'll do our best to get back to you. And if you think you know someone that would also enjoy this, please share the video. Anything to share, Sarah?
No, I'm in La La Land here.
Sarah's in La La Land. We are signing off. Have a great day, everybody.